HOH Productions presents Vacancy, written by Mike Murphy, starring Kevin Cuoto as Benny, Richard Summers as Man, Chris Marcellus as Sean, J.R. Murdoch as Officer Cranston, Russell Gold as Mr. Sanderson, Rebecca Hansen as Janice, Claire Massa as Mrs. Lewis, Alex Spurlock as host, anchorwoman, and phone operator, Rachel Rumlow as female police officer, John Hinckley as male police officer, Fiona Thrale as police dispatcher, Joe Stofko and Jay Hardwick as Walla.
Good afternoon, Fairlawn Hotel. Janice speaking. May I help you?
You don't have anything available?
There are some conventions in town, sir. We're booked solid. Have been for weeks.
But...
Well, I know all about the conventions. I'm a plumber. I flew in from Dallas to attend. Didn't think I was going to be able to, but my schedule opened up at the last minute. I thought for sure I'd be able to find a place to stay in a city of this size.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Sanderson.
A moment, Benny.
Well, you must have one room. I don't need anything fancy. I'm only going to sleep there.
Sir, I wish I could accommodate you, but...
Mr. Sanderson?
What?
We do have a room, sir.
You do?
Number 1123.
Well, I'll take it. How much?
I'm sorry, but the boy is mistaken.
No, it says right.
Do you have a room or not?
I'm afraid we don't.
Mr.
If I had an empty room, don't you think I'd rent it to you?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But 1123...
Benny, why don't you go check with Alphonse in the kitchen? See if he needs any help.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry for the confusion. The boy's a trainee. He's only been here a week.
I understand. We all have to start somewhere.
Let me see if we can't find you a room somewhere else. Janice!
Yes, Mr. Sanderson?
I want you to get on the phone and call every hotel in town. Someone must have a room available to accommodate my friend here.
Will do. I'll be with you in just a moment, sir.
Well, that's awfully kind of you, Sanderson.
Think nothing of it. I only wish we could provide you lodging here at the Fairlawn.
Maybe for next year's convention?
I didn't like what you did earlier, Benny.
I was just trying to help. That guy from Dallas needed a room.
Janice found him one at the Longmore. Trying to help a potential customer doesn't give you carte blanche to make me look foolish.
I wasn't trying to do that.
Haven't you spoken with Janice?
No, sir. With all the conventions, she hasn't had the time.
Then you couldn't have known.
Excuse me?
We don't rent room 1123. Not now, not ever.
Why not?
You don't need to know the reason, Benny. Just the fact 1123 is never to be rented. Understand?
Yes, sir.
I don't care if the Pope shows up and needs a room. I don't care if the President of the United States has to sleep in his limo. I don't care if the Virgin Mary comes here looking for a room to give birth to Jesus. 1123 is always to remain empty.
That's weird.
I thought I had lost my job after only a week.
That wouldn't do.
Say, how are you and Jordan getting along?
She's mad at me.
For what?
Typical girl stuff. You never take me anywhere. Are you ashamed to be seen with me? Nag, nag, nag.
Sounds familiar.
I'm not cheap, Benny. I'm broke. There's a big difference. Jordan doesn't get that.
Can you get some dough from your mom?
She's tapped out. Just paid the rent.
I wish I could help you, but I haven't gotten my first paycheck yet.
Thanks. Maybe you can.
Huh?
Can you get me into that empty room?
1123?
A room at the Fairlawn. That would impress Jordan. And stop her nagging. Can you hook me up?
I don't know. It's kinda risky.
You said it's always empty.
Yeah, but one of the guys in the kitchen told me that 1123 is Mr. Sanderson's own private little love nest.
Him? He's too old for that.
I hear he thinks he's quite the ladies' man. 1123 is always available in case he wants to, you know.
Gross. How about when he's busy?
He's the manager. He can leave whenever he feels... Wait a minute.
What?
Thursday.
What about Thursday?
Sanderson's boss, Mr. Gillespie, is visiting from the home office. I've heard through the grapevine that Sanderson is always a bundle of nerves when the big guy shows up.
So he'll be too busy to even think of having a rendezvous.
That's the idea. Also, a couple of conventions are ending on Wednesday night, so a lot of people will be checking out on Thursday morning. Too many for just Janice and me to handle.
So you can hook me up.
Leave it to me. Come around by 10.
Just me?
Sanderson will be suspicious if he sees two teenagers riding up the elevator. I'll tell him I need a bathroom break and take you up to the room. Have Jordan show up a little later.
Pal, I owe you one. Big time.
You sure you can swing this? I don't want you getting in trouble.
Don't worry about it. Gillespie's giving the boss a particularly tough time. Here's the key. Just slide it in and out of the lock.
Thanks. Won't it be missed?
There are 2 keys for every room. Sanderson will never notice one of them's gone. Drop it by my house tonight, huh?
Sure thing.
I'll replace it tomorrow morning.
I can't thank you enough for this, Benny. Finally, my ears will get a break.
You got your cell phone on you?
Don't I always?
If it looks like anything is gonna go wrong, I'll call you. You two get out as quickly as you can.
Got it.
Don't leave the room too messy, huh?
Sanderson will never know anyone was in his love nest.
I gotta be getting back to the front desk. I told him I was taking a leak. It's been kinda long for that.
Tell him you had to make a number 2.
See ya.
The number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Huh?
Please check the number and try your call again. The number you have dialed is not in service at this time. Please check the number and try your call again.
I must have misdialed.
The number you have dialed is not in service at this time. Please check the number and try your call again.
Did he forget to pay the bill? Jordan. Jordan. What's her?
The number you have dialed is not in service at this time. Please check the number and try your call again.
What the hell? I told him I needed that key back.
Breaking news coming into I-4. 2 local teenagers have been reported missing by their parents. Sean Russell, 17, and Jordan Roy, 16, seen here in a recent prom photo, failed to return to their homes this evening.
Missing?
Russell and Roy, boyfriend and girlfriend, have been together for nearly a year. Their parents report no problems with either of them, and they are at a loss to understand what has happened. Calls to the missing teenagers' cell phones have been unsuccessful.
Just like me.
Local police are investigating the disappearances and urge anyone with information on the missing teen's whereabouts to call the number on your screen.
Sean's car. I think that one's Jordan's. Maybe they fell asleep. I have to get them out of there. Never should have done him a favor. Way to take advantage of an old friend. I can't. Come on, you wuss. It's just a hotel room. Nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be scared of here. Bathroom, double bed. Doesn't look like it's been slept in. Did they walk home? Sean! Jordan! Hey, there's the key! And, bridal veil?
You went inside?
I did.
Why?
I'd rather not say. I found this on the floor.
I haven't seen that in years.
You've seen it before?
Back in 2009.
Please tell me.
I suppose you should know. A Mr. and Mrs. Lewis, I think that was the name, checked into 1123 one June night. They had been married only hours before.
Coming, my dear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you... May I help you?
Mrs. Yvette Lewis?
Yes?
I'm Sergeant Cranston. I'm afraid I have some bad news. Your husband, Arthur,
Yes?
he's dead.
Don't be ridiculous, officer. He'll be back in a few minutes. I forgot a bag in the car, and he went to get it for me, the dear.
I'm sorry.
We're on our honeymoon. Niagara Falls. People don't die on their honeymoon.
Ma'am,
You're serious, aren't you?
I would never joke about such a thing.
How? He was just...
A drunk driver lost control of his car and plowed into the hotel parking lot.
And Arthur?
He didn't get out of the way in time. I'm sure it happened very quickly. He was crushed between the trunk of your car and the hood of the other one.
Arthur! My sweet Arthur!
I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Lewis.
Mrs. I don't know if I can be called that anymore.
I'll need you to come downstairs when you're ready and identify the body.
Ma'am, on behalf of everyone here at the Fair Lawn, our condolences.
Thank you.
Is there anything else we can do for you?
Not that I can think of.
You're welcome to stay here for as long as you like, on the house.
That's very kind of you. Right now, I need to take some time to make a few calls and to think about what to do next. Brides don't usually have to think about such things on their wedding days.
Here it is. That's enough water, I think.
It's time to end this. Arthur's razor. How appropriate. Ah! It's actually kind of peaceful. slashes. They almost look like bracelets.
She killed herself.
Slit her wrists while wearing her veil.
That veil?
Yes, Mr. Sanderson found her body the next day.
And 1123 hasn't been rented since?
Oh no, it was.
After what happened there?
I guess the big shots figured the new guests would never know the room's history. There were a few times that I remember. Nice married couples.
What happened to them?
They vanished. All their bags and clothes were left behind. We tried to track them down, but never could. 1123 hasn't been rented for, probably 18 months. That I know of. No one's even gone in there in all that time.
Except me.
Weird stuff happens in that room, Benny. I'm content to leave it alone, and you should be too. Why go looking for trouble?
But if all that's true,
It is.
then how did I walk out of there alive?
I'm not sure. Not at all.
I have to go back there.
Why?
I just have to. Some friends are depending on me.
Don't, Benny.
Whatever's causing all this trouble, Mrs. Lewis's ghost, it didn't harm me.
That's exactly the point.
Huh?
I'm worried that you getting out of 1123 alive was a mistake.
I'm back. Look, I brought your veil. You're welcome. I need to talk with you. Miss Lewis? Yvette?
Affirmative. That's a match as well. That's 2 affirmative.
Thank you.
Well,
It checks out. This is the missing boy's car.
and this one is his girlfriend's.
You got it.
They've just been shacking up the whole time we've been searching for them?
It could be more than that. We'd better have a talk with the manager.
Why are you here?
I'm looking for my friends.
The teenagers?
That's right. Are they...
They are alive.
Where are they?
With me.
Where's that?
I'm not sure. It's not heaven. And I don't believe it's hell. Someplace in between.
What's it like?
I can't tell. Nothing is clear. Nothing is definite. Everything's tentative.
May I speak with you?
Of course. It's a pleasure to speak with an innocent. This room was meant for my husband and me, you know. It was meant to be my bedchamber. We would have consummated our marriage vows here if he hadn't
Died.
Exactly. You did not enter this room with lustful thoughts as those before you did.
My friends?
And others.
Some of the people who came to this room, Miss Lewis, were married.
It doesn't matter. My Arthur will return to me. I must keep this room pure until then.
But people stayed here before you. What about...
I cannot control what happened then. Only now.
Have you met Arthur again?
No.
Why not?
We're in different places. He did not have to do time here like I do. One day. One fine day.
You took my friends and the others. Can you return them?
If I wished. They are company for me. They help while away the hours. Why should I return them?
Here's his picture.
Yes, that's him. He applied for a job here a couple of weeks ago.
You didn't hire him?
No, he didn't seem like someone who would take the job seriously. I did hire his friend.
Friend? Sir?
Yes, Benny Trask. He's a front desk trainee.
May we speak with him?
Sure, Janice,
Yes, sir.
do you know where Benny is?
Benny?
Yes, Benny. Do you know where he is?
Why? Because it's the right thing to do. Those people didn't know you had a claim on this room. Let them go. Please.
But then I would be without my company.
What would Arthur have you do?
Unfortunately, I can't ask him.
Shouldn't you two be together?
In my grief, I took my own life. Arthur did not.
And for that you have to stay where you are for who knows how long.
Evidently, if I had ever...
Benny, what the hell are...
Benny? Benny, can you hear me?
Mr. Sanderson?
I heard, kid. I heard.
Why don't you see if that's true? Let everyone go. Maybe that gesture is all that's needed for the powers that be to reunite the two of you.
Do you really think so?
It could be. It's a chance worth taking, right?
I'll need some promises first. Only Sanderson. No others.
Benny?
She wants to talk with you, sir.
She?
Mrs. Arthur Lewis. Surely you remember me. My suicide.
Of course. You're the cause of this?
This innocent has asked me to return everyone who has gone missing from this room over the years.
She can do that?
Yes, she can.
I need some assurances first.
Go on.
You are to never rent or use room 1123 again.
We already don't.
You would be very surprised.
I don't under...
Mr. Sanderson!
Of course. Of course. Never again.
I want this room sealed, boarded up, whatever it takes. If this sacrifice does work, I want no one to ever disturb my Arthur.
I'll see that it's done. I give you my word.
Insufficient!
And I give you my word.
Can you beat that?
What the... Benny, what's going on? Where have we been?
I'll tell you later. Thank you, Miss Lewis. Just leave the room service tray outside the door, sir. I'll come by and get it later. Well, that didn't take long. Looks like everything turned out for the best.
Vacancy was mixed by Glenn Higbee. Sound effects by John Carl Taw. Music by John Carl Taw. Casting by Glenn Higbee. Produced by Glenn Higbee and John Carl Taw. Directed by Glenn Higbee. We hope you have enjoyed our production of Vacancy. Until we meet again, I am your host, Alex. Burlow.